Hello. I'm a pole dancer who's also obsessed with my local Planet Fitness, and for those reasons, I would like to yap at you for a few minutes about the intersection of those two things. Last time I made a video about the best exercises for pole dancers at the gym, you all really seemed to like it, and my gym has gotten some new equipment since then, so, like a studio executive milking a franchise for all it's worth, I'm back for part 2. As a reminder, in case you didn't watch part 1, I'm not a fitness professional or a pole instructor, I just do both of these things a lot and I like to talk about them, and a good day to you, sir. Let's talk about the lower body for a bit. Once again, filming in the gym is super awkward. I call this the fold over glute thing, and here is a video about it that makes me laugh a lot.
With the rat pack. Hit 'em with the chopper, that's the rat trap. Find 'em in that trash bag off the interstate.
You basically fit your lower body into this contraption, lean over the front, and then rise back up, squeezing your glutes. And here I am clutching a weight while I do it. This specific movement is uncommon in the real world, but in the pole world, we do weird shit all the time. This would help a lot with any move where you have to lift your upper body up from your lower back, like getting into a gargoyle or a thigh hold. I have also just recently learned that I'm using my hyperflexible back to cheat my way into brass monkeys instead of using muscular strength, so this should be able to help me out with that. One muscle that does a lot of work for us in pole dancing is the hip flexor, which is the little guy responsible for lifting up your whole ass leg in something like an invert, particularly with straight legs. I am extremely guilty of having weak hip flexors compared to the rest of my legs, so sometimes I shove my foot into the handle of a kettlebell and raise my foot up, training my hip flexors, and desperately trying not to tip over. I'm not about to take my shoes off at the gym, so I have to find a kettlebell with a big enough handle for my little purple shoe, which means it's already got to be kind of heavy, which means this exercise really sucks. But like I mentioned, the hip flexors have to lift up these big old ham hocks, and if I want my inverts to be clean, I gotta stop ignoring them. You can also set a kettlebell on the ground in front of you and in a straddle lift one leg over it at a time, and at this angle, geez, let me show you in a different way than this. Last time, I told you to get on the stair climber to get your cardio in and build up your quads. Well, I've got an additional tip for the pole baddies who like to dance in heels. I'll lift up onto my tiptoes and do a few minutes strutting up the... Why is it so hard to film yourself at the gym? Anyway, I basically pretend I'm in one of those pretty girls walk like this videos and tippy-toe my way up a few flights. If you dance in heels, you'll want your ankles and calves to be strong, so here's a cute little way to do that. Fans of the first installment of this series will be delighted to know that since I posted that in December of 2023, my Planet Fitness still has not corrected their sign that misspells the word operational. I even told them about it, and they looked at me like, there is no war in Ba Sing Se. Operational hours lives on. Let's talk about abs now, because these are the fun new machines that inspired me to make this follow-up. This here is the scrunch machine. You can do all sorts of scrunches. I'm doing the basic scrunch. Don't talk to me until I've had my scrunches. Anyway, I'm holding onto some handles and putting my legs on a slidey thing and then scrunching them up towards my chest like a tilted plank in which the end goal is to become a shrimp. And it is so much harder than you'd think. Which is exactly how the pole moves that this helps with are. Have you ever tried to do a caterpillar climb and rethought your entire existence? This scrunch motion is what you need to get you there, and I haven't found anything that mimics it as well as the scrunch machine. I have also recently met this kneeling twisty machine that I see people yoinking themselves about on at mock speed, but if you go slowly and deliberately, it actually really hits your obliques. Plus, it's not common to find machines that let you twist your torso like this. As you'll know from pole, there's a lot of torso twisting nonsense, from advanced stuff like trying to get into an Allegra, down to things like grabbing your foot in a Jasmine variation. Building up strength in a twisting motion can keep those movement patterns from being such a shock to your body the first time you try them, and this machine gives a nice controlled way to do that. And like I said last time, strengthening your obliques helps you lift your leg up and to the side, especially mid-air. And then this one, where you sort of hunch over onto yourself with the weight on noodly straps behind you, I call the future ab machine for obvious reasons. Though it may not seem like it at first, this one can really burn your upper abs if you focus on resisting the weight as you bring your torso up, rather than putting your attention onto pulling it down. Resisting the pull of weight with your abs helps with things like holding your torso away from the pole in a spin, because something, physics, centrifugal force. Either way, I found holding my body away from the pole really challenging until I started building up more strength, and this is a great way to do so. So now let's talk about upper body stuff. In my last video, I didn't really talk about pull-ups because I couldn't really do pull-ups, and would you believe it, I'm still working on them. But I can definitely tell that doing any and all pull-up stuff at the gym is helping a lot with some basic mechanics on the pole. Here's my beloved, the assisted pull-up machine, which I adore because it's the most beginner-friendly pull-up method, since you can customize exactly how much weight of yours you want supported. So many people can't hold up their own weight when they start pull, so here's a machine that gives you a forehead kiss and says, "You don't have to. Let's work up to that." Please don't take this as, you must be able to do a pull-up to be good at pull, because I am living proof that the way I suck at pull has nothing to do with the way I suck at pull-ups, okay? You do not need to be able to do a full traditional pull-up to do pull. But training to move your weight vertically through space will help you on the pole, particularly with things like a pencil spin, any sort of pull-ups into an invert, or just hanging on for longer. For a while, people loved to comment, "You're going to break your wrists," anytime I posted clips of me doing split grip on the pole. Despite many wrong people categorizing split grip as a beginner move, I find it quite difficult, as it requires a good balance of push and pull, and is tricky for somebody with Squidwardly-like hypermobile elbows like me. So let's look at some pushing strength. Here's me doing 2 full push-ups, then immediately getting humbled and switching to my knees. You don't have to be at Planet Fitness among your fellow lunks to do push-ups, I just happen to be here. Anyway, the point is, I'm stacking my weight over my wrists and pushing my weight up and down, which will strengthen my wrists right in the spot that everybody was warning me I'd break in a split grip. And of course, you don't have to be on the floor and off your knees to do push-ups. You can use a bench for assistance or push against the wall. Your split grips will thank you. Listen, apparently those comments about my limp wrists, happy almost Pride Month, got to me, because here's another wrist-centric exercise for you. I'm kneeling by a bench, holding a weight in one hand, and using the other arm to sort of pin that one down while I curl the weight over the opposite edge of the bench. I have been finding that I have the muscular strength to move my big beefy self around the pole, but my joint strength, like in my wrists, hasn't quite caught up. All this wrist work helps me dial into that specific area to help me with things like pole handstands, butterflies, and that pesky split grip again. Remember the last video in which I told you to find any metal thing you can in the gym and pick it up to help you get some calluses? Well, now you're a big tough guy after watching that video. I bet you ate a bowl of nails for breakfast. Without any milk. So, I want you to find whatever evil metal thing you can move the most weight with to really toughen up your hands. Here's a barbell, which I will deadlift with, and here is the most diabolical shit ever put on a pull-up contraption. These diagonal grips are textured with metal sandpaper, shavings from a masochistic blacksmith. Seriously, look at my hand after I've hung from these things. They've got an imprint. An imprint! So I'm gonna hang from them as long as I can. It will hurt. I will suffer. It'll be bad. A shitload of suffering is what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, it's the night. And this helps me have some badass calluses, which I want for pole stuff where I need hand grip but not skin grip, such as dynamic static spins where monkey grip would yank my skin off, but I don't want to go flying. For more gym-spiration from pole dancers, check out Poltician, co-owner of RYSKY Studio in London, or Hell No Kitty on Instagram. If If you hear the sound of a soapbox being dragged out, that's just me. You do not need to be strong from the gym to start pole dancing. And you do not need to be strong from pole dancing to start at the gym. I'm hoping that you can achieve a symbiotic relationship between the two, as I have, so that your pole sessions feel easier and your gym days feel sluttier. I mean, flowier or something. And fear not becoming bulky or any nonsense like that. I have not regretted a single moment in which I felt strong, and I also haven't regretted the many, many more moments in which I've been weak but worked my way through it, on and off the pole. Now go forth with your scrunches and calluses and hip flexors and work that pole, baby. Bye!